doesn't support bimbos.
Yeah, guys, so if you don't support your girlfriend, your wife, your long-term partner being promiscuous, then that's a red flag. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor The Fiend back again with another response video. And guys, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about toxic women in dating, okay? A lot of these girls will say that men are toxic, we are manipulative, we are evil, but they themselves will show their terrible behaviors literally on TikTok for free. So we're going to be covering a couple of these videos today. But before we jump into today's episode, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our other content creators, Hidan from Peace of Mind and Detective Warg. Their channels will be linked in the video description, and they are pumping out consistent content for you gentlemen to enjoy. So without further ado, let's take a listen to what this first woman has to say. And she's going to be talking about her red flags that she has for men. So let's take a listen.
Here are my red flags with men. Number 1, golf. Self-explanatory. Number 2.
How is golf self-explanatory? Whenever girls make these lists and they talk about here are red flags, here are things I don't tolerate, basically what it means is they've seen dudes previously who have these characteristics who have not wanted to commit to them, so they now say that they are toxic, even though it's the women who are toxic, by the way. Like, these are the same women who complain about being single and not being in a relationship and men are terrible, yet they have the most ridiculous and arbitrary standards based off of their previous quote-unquote relationships that went nowhere.
Blonde. Self-explanatory. Number 3, Christian. Self-explanatory.
I love how all of these are justified, by the way, by just saying that they're self-explanatory. Like, yeah, I don't want to see a dude if he's blonde. I don't want to see a dude if he's Christian. All of these things are self-explanatory. Can you guys imagine if men made lists like this and you were like, you know, oh, I don't want to date her because she's a little bit too short for me, or she has earrings, or she's not a Christian. Like, everyone would jump up and down and say that man is being discriminatory. He's being this, he's being that. But because it's women on these platforms saying these things, right? It's funny how they'll throw around the word toxic so easily, and yet they'll be the ones who are precluding people based on just absolute bullcrap. Right? If anything, guys, if you want a long-term partner, you'd probably want a Christian man to begin with. Like, the most stable relationships, guys, are the ones where both people, you know, have no promiscuity and they ensure the commitment up front. Right? Literally the complete opposite of what she's saying. It's absolutely hilarious that they'll go, oh yeah, I won't date a guy who's a Christian, okay, but I'll date a dude who has a body count of 100 and every girl wants to get with him. It's like, which relationship do you think will last longer? The one with the bad boy who doesn't want you, or a guy with a, you know, who has traditional values, who hasn't got with the whole town beforehand? It's ridiculous, man.
Number 4, likes America.
Yeah, guys, so if you're American and you like your country, apparently you're out of this woman's list, which, by the way, I just want you guys to know that all of these things that she's saying that she doesn't like are literally things that she would ignore for the right dude anyway. So if you liked America, if you were blonde, if you did any of the other things on this woman's list, it wouldn't really matter if she was attracted to you, by the way. Like, these lists actually mean nothing.
Self-explanatory. Number 5, doesn't support bimbos.
Yeah, guys, so if you don't support your girlfriend, your wife, your long-term partner being promiscuous, then that's a red flag. Right? So anything you do, guys, and this is the amazing thing, this is what I really don't like about these situations, is we as men, we are told it's toxic to be jealous. We are told it's toxic to say, hey, I don't want my girl to act like that. But what it's really doing, guys, is women are going out here with boyfriends, with husbands, acting as though they are single, and if you say anything about it, then you're terrible. Right? So men, it's funny how they'll say that they care about men's feelings, or they care, you know, they respect boundaries and they're so equal and all that kind of crap. But the moment a man doesn't want his girl to go out and do anything crazy, he's toxic and it's a red flag. Yeah, okay.
Self-explanatory. Number 6, Nike. Self-explanatory. Number 9 is a man. Self-explanatory.
It's amazing how all these girls never seem to realize that they are the reason why they are single. If you don't want a man, don't be surprised when men don't date you. It's super simple math. If you don't like men, if you don't like them, then you can't be surprised when men don't give you commitment. Like all of this like masculine energy, I'm going to disagree with everything he says, I'm a boss babe, I'm a queen. Men are not dating you because you're intimidating. Men are just not dating you, and they're not interested in you because you're a pain in the neck. If you want to be strong and independent of men, that's totally cool, but don't be surprised when those same men just don't want to commit to you at all. So let's jump into the second clip here now, and I'm pretty sure this clip is actually worse than the first one, and we're going to be going over some things that include a toxic girl 2022. So as you can see, this woman has a bit of a list here. Let me see if I can pull it down for you guys. You know, she says holler at his homeboy first and then slide into his DMs. Basically, how to treat men like garbage. Now, the theme that you'll notice with these videos, guys, is despite the fact that they are clearly misandrist in nature, these things are totally allowed to fly on TikTok. Right? I will get warnings on this YouTube channel and they won't even tell me why, okay? But girls like this will literally get hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok, on whatever platform they're on, and it'll be pushed in the algorithm, okay? Because misandry is something that flies around and people seem to be perfectly okay with. But the moment a man has standards, the moment a man has self-respect, it's like, oh, he's red flags, he's toxic, all this kind of crap. So let's jump into this video here and see what this individual has to teach us.
Okay, here is a list of things to do to have the perfect toxic girl 2022. Number 1, holla at his homeboy first and then slide in his DM. Number 2, early in the morning, text him Grand Rising King, bless the world with your power, and then read the message he responds to you and never reply.
The funny thing is, when I talk about manipulation on this channel, when I talk about, you know, when girls will get on here and complain that men are being toxic to them, or men are mistreating them by, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Love bombing, doing all these different kind of things. A lot of the girls don't seem to realize that men manipulate women by copying women. I remember back in the day, guys, when I was younger, I was watching Alpha Male Strategies on YouTube. I really like that guy, AMS, right? And he talks a lot about this crap. And one of the things that he really said that kind of stuck with me was the fact that a lot of these like tactics, a lot of this manipulation bullcrap that everybody's doing, the men learned this from the women. It didn't just come out of nowhere. Like, men, I've said this so many damn times on the channel, but guys, like, men don't make lists like this. Do you understand what I mean? Like, when men get hurt, or men go through bad situations, they're not really thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Like, men are not like this by nature. I've never seen a guy sit down and make a list like this on how to be a toxic guy 2022. Right? It's always these psycho girls on TikTok. And again, guys, like, this is just this woman, right? But there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of likes and views on videos like this. Like, young women are watching this, young men are seeing this kind of thing, and the young men are going, yeah, look, I'm just going to focus on myself. I'm not really interested in relationships. And at the end of the day, this crap is just hurting women more than anything else. Like, the men will go out there, the men will see stuff like, here's what's going to happen. The young men are going to see stuff like this. They're going to ignore it. They're going to get their heart broken. And then the next couple times, maybe they'll start to stop ignoring it. And they'll go, yeah, I'm just going to focus on myself. They're going to go out. They're just going to work on themselves, get jacked, make a whole bunch more money. And the women are the ones who end up 30 years alone with their cats. Right? These lists that seem inconsequential, these lists that just seem like, oh, you know, aha, it's just a funny little video. Like, really, guys, it really does drive a huge divide between the genders, because it makes men not want to date you. It really does. And, you know, at the end of the day, that hurts women more than anything, to be honest.
Now, the next two are for when you see him in public. When he walks past you, wink at him and ask him why he acting funny. Give him the side hug and then make a random post about what you want in a relationship. Pro tip, use a meme that describes everything he tried to give you, and then don't reply to his comment or DM for the next 3 to 5 business days.
Oh, and another thing I forgot to say, guys, is all of this manipulation and all these little tactics, men who are mature and men who are doing their own thing, it's like they get bored when they listen to this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you meet a man who's really about his stuff and he's doing what he's doing, and like he sees a girl like this making a list like this, he's not going to care. Like, if he's seeing you casually, he's just going to see you and throw you to the side. He's not going to care about your lists. He's not going to care about your little manipulations to try and get him in a relationship, because he doesn't care about you. He recognizes the immaturity, and he'll either just not have you in his life at all, or he'll see you for half an hour when he's bored and he's done with the work day, and then he'll be back on the grind anyway. Like, all of this is what it essentially is, guys. Lists like these, they're immaturity. Right? They're young girls coming along saying, I can't actually bring anything to the table, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and manipulate men. I'm going to treat them like crap, and I'm going to try and hurt their feelings, make them jealous, do all these different things, because I don't actually have anything. Like, I can't keep a man around with compassion and care, so what I have to keep him around with is manipulation and toxicity. All it screams is like high school bullcrap drama that guys who are mature will just straight up ignore and toss you to the side for. Like, any guy who has self-respect, if he sees stuff like this, he doesn't want you. It will literally bore him. He'll be like, yeah, look, I'm not interested. I think I'm just going to go with Stacy over here, who isn't such a big pain in the neck, and if she acts up, I'll just throw her away too. You know, like, guys will literally get bored at this stuff.
And last but certainly not least, tell him that you're nothing like his ex, and then proceed to be exactly.
Yeah, fantastic advice right there. Just real fantastic stuff, guys. Modern day dating coaches, everybody. But guys, let's jump into today's Reddit story, and then we're going to wrap up today's episode. Now, this is a little bit of a longer Reddit story. I haven't read all of it, but I'm going to assume that it's quite a good one because it's quite lengthy. And when I say good, I don't necessarily mean good. The guy has been cheated on, but hopefully we can learn something from the situation by taking a look at what he went through. So here we go. And this was posted 14 hours ago. A lot of people think that I cherry pick these stories, guys. But if you just go into like r/relationship advice or r/dating over 30, it's really not hard to find any of these at all. Like, it's literally just consisting of people cheating on each other, wives getting, like, you're welcome to go and look at the subreddits for yourselves, guys. It's literally just endless content. I always find that funny when people come to the channel and they're like, guys, Taylor's cherry picking the content. It's like, have you guys never been on TikTok before? You know what I mean? Like, this stuff is literally absolutely everywhere, and we're all just pretending as though it doesn't exist. Now let's jump into the story here. I, a 32-year-old male, found dirty texts to her 27-year-old female co-worker, and I don't know what to do. Please help. Apologies for the rant and possible weird formatting from the phone, just not sure how to handle this situation. So my girlfriend and I have been together for about 2 years now. We started long distance after meeting randomly out of town. Because of this, we had Zoom dates to start to see if it was even worth it. Guys, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Maybe you guys have a different perspective on this, but I really don't think, if you're a dude who's choosing to date, you really shouldn't be doing long-term relationships at all. Like, absolutely not. A lot of these situations, truth be told, guys, girls will literally just get bored, and there's going to be some dude in her hometown that slides into her DMs, and it's really just, unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Like, a lot of the a lot of this new generation, guys, or just people in general, girls specifically, not all of them, but a lot of them, they can't be bored for more than like 20 minutes. It's the saddest crap you've ever seen. So anytime I see long-term relationships, I always just think in my head, yeah, that's not really going to last. But maybe you guys have a different story. You're welcome to share in the comments. So let's keep going. We ended up really hitting it off because we were long distance. We talked about dreams and goals earlier than I think we would have if she were in town. If it wasn't worth keeping that up until we shared the same values and goals for future, kids, marriage, house, etc. This is always kind of, I want to point this out, guys, as a little bit of a red flag. So you see here the woman is 27, right? Of course, the discussions of the future come up very quickly. Because what happens, guys, is girls will get to this age and they'll go, oh crap, now's the time that I need a future. Now I need to organize things. Where are my kids? Where's my house? What am I going to do for security? And that's when questions like this start to come up. So there's been many years. If a girl's 27 years of age, guys, and she hasn't had those, you know, a serious, like a real serious relationship, she hasn't been married, like what is she doing to get to 27 years of age and still have no relationship? And guys will come in and they'll say, oh, Taylor, isn't it the same for men? Absolutely not. And the reason why it's not the same for men is because men take time to become attractive. An 18-year-old girl can literally get married very quickly if she wants to. But a guy who's 18 typically doesn't have anything going for him. You know, he might be quite thin. His body's not there yet. His mind, you know, he hasn't been through those situations to be able to lead and make those strong decisions as he needs to. Right, he probably doesn't have his money up. Guys take time to become attractive. Girls just are attractive. You know what I mean? Like a 20-year-old woman can go and get married if she wants. So a 27-year-old woman talking about commitment and stuff up front, a little bit of a red flag, but totally expected, right? So let's keep going. Fast forward, and she moved out to me, and I bought a house all in my name because we needed more space than my 1-bedroom apartment. So this dude bought a house essentially for this woman, even if it's under his own name. This is the stupidest crap I've ever seen. So because your apartment was too small for her, this random woman that you are having a long-term quote-unquote relationship with, talking about kids and stuff, you went and decided to buy a house. Don't buy a house for a woman, guys. And don't let her stay in your house. Like this cohabitating stuff, hell no, man, hell no. Besides the typical growing pains on learning how to live together, everything seemed great. She started working as a nanny a few months after moving here, but about 5 months ago picked up another job at Top Golf. She starts making friends there right away, which is not surprising because she is a cute, likable person. Worth noting that I am not originally from here, so most of my friends are just co-workers. I am happy she is making her own friends and trying not to be the jealous boyfriend type and let her do whatever she wants with the people she's meeting. Guys, I'll say this, right? Society teaches men. This is something that I find really disgusting, okay? Society will come along and teach men that it is inappropriate to be jealous, okay? That it's inappropriate to feel this way. You should just let your girlfriend do whatever she wants and go out and make friends with who knows where and go do whatever. And guys, at a certain point, you've got to understand there is a reason why jealousy is an emotion that people feel. Okay, it's to indicate something. It's to indicate that something positive is not necessarily happening. Okay, I hate it when men are shamed, and if you have anything negative to say about who she's spending time with, you become the jealous boyfriend type. Let me just say something, guys. If your girlfriend is hanging out with a bunch of dudes, if she's going on like these lunch dates or whatever the hell, she's not your girl, man. Like, she really isn't. Like, I swear to you, man, what you'll notice is that when you start digging into these situations, you're going to find a lot of things that will make you deeply uncomfortable, guys. Okay, a lot of people will come across this video and say, oh, Taylor, that's just toxic. That's your toxic masculinity. I don't care, man. The guys who have been through these situations know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. If your girl wants to go out on these cute lunch dates with random dudes or whatever the case may be, she's not your girl, man. Absolutely not. Let's keep going. Her first time hanging out with someone is going to bar trivia. This guy misunderstands the intent and thinks it's a date. Yeah, so obviously she's framed it like it's the guy's fault. Let's keep going. She tells me right away and we laugh it off, but it's always in the back of my head that guys there probably think she is flirting because that's just the way she is with everybody and is a part of what I love about her. I've had this gut feeling for a while that something else is going on, but again, I'm trying to be a supportive boyfriend and not be paranoid. I had an ex that cheated and my mental health issues can sometimes make me worry more than I need to, so I blamed it on that for a while. Look how this guy's blaming himself. Like, he rationally knows he has a gut feeling, and yet he's sitting here blaming it on himself because that's what he's been told to do. Okay, and let me just say something. This guy misinterpreting that it's a date, this is not a misinterpretation. Your girl gave this man signals for him to assume that it's a date or to assume that it's romantic in any sort of way, shape, or form. Like, girls will come along and they'll say, oh yeah, this dude just he just misunderstands, or whatever the case may be, but that's not true at all. So let's keep going. But today, I did something a trusting boyfriend shouldn't, and I used her iPad to look at a few texts with this one guy in particular from Top Golf. She talks a good amount with him, which I kind of knew, but she had not really given me a reason to not trust her other than my gut feeling. Look, isn't that crazy, guys? Men with gut feelings seem to be right a lot. Like, we're told that we're paranoid, we're told that we're toxic and all that, guys, but this thing right here, this little thing that men have, yeah, don't worry, gentlemen, just ignore that. That's just you being toxic. Well, I read a few texts and then get upset with myself for invading her privacy until I come across a picture of my girlfriend in a changing room trying on a dress. Fully clothed, but I think it's weird to see, so I check the photos history in the text chain. Bad idea. I find certain pictures from him and certain pictures from her to him. I'm at a loss at what to do here. I, for one, invaded her privacy. Look at this guy, like, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, man. You know, he's like angry at himself first. But my gut feeling turned out to be right, and I feel empty inside right now. I really thought this was it. She was the one and I was happy. She says that she loves me every day, but I'm obviously doubting that now. How do I confront her on this? I did something wrong too, but I feel like my slight is a little overshadowed by what she did and what she is doing. Any advice would be greatly appreciated, and we have an edit down here. Thanks for the advice and support, everyone. Because this is so fresh, I'm feeling pretty down and not able to make a rational decision at the moment, even though it seems pretty cut and dry. I've decided to schedule a therapy session later this week. I'm going to pause here, guys. I'm proud of this guy. Like, as stupid as his thing is here of like trying to blame himself and being like, I'm a bad person, he's taking the right steps, okay? He understands that he's not thinking rationally at the moment. He understands it seems that he does need to cut her off and be more definitive about it, and he's booked himself a therapy session. Okay, we're dealing with someone who has been a bit brainwashed by society at large, telling him that he's toxic, but we've got a good amount of logic in there, which I can appreciate. I'm not the kind of person to just kick her out and have a discussion first and not have a discussion first, but I do realize the tactics she will use and arguments she will try to make. Good. But that's why I think having a professional help is the best way before I make a move on this. We'll update again when I get things sorted out in my heart and brain. Now, obviously, guys, I think he's pretty silly here for not just instantly cutting out the woman. I will say that. But hopefully this guy manages to get through it and understand. And some of the things that I wanted to point out in this story, guys, before we wrap up today's episode, is number one, never ignore red flags or these trends that come about. There's a reason why we talk about girls going into their 30s, starting to talk about future and stuff like that very early on. It's because what they're doing is they're trying to get a guy who's going to support them financially. Meanwhile, they go and see some other guy behind the scenes. So it's very important, man. If you're a dude with resources, if you're looking to buy a house, if you're a stable man, please understand that there are going to be people out there who seek to manipulate you for that and to use you for that exact situation. Other thing as well, guys, is trust your gut feeling more. Don't let society tell you that just because you're a man, it's toxic to be jealous or these types of situations. Trust your gut, guys, and really understand that if someone's not going to tell you the truth, you have every right to leave instantaneously. And the last thing that I'll say is this guy's a bit of a clown for not just leaving instantly. Like, I really think that he should absolutely leave instantly, have the self-respect to leave and just get out of the situation as soon as possible. But it's good to see, he's trying to at least take things in the right direction as opposed to trying to rationalize staying with her like a complete dumbass. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, gentlemen, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our other content creators, Hidan from Peace of Mind and Detective Warg. They've been putting out a lot of videos for you guys to enjoy. So in the event that I go Mia over the next few days or anything like that, make sure that you check them out, show them some love. As always, their channels will be linked in the video description. But otherwise, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo guys, it's Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's episode. Before you go, remember to subscribe to our other Fiend Gang members. Their channels will be linked in the video description. Our newest member is Detective Warg, so make sure that you go and show him some love. He's putting out daily content for you guys. Also, one of the characters I use and also a lot of our thumbnail artwork is done by an artist called The Gecko Ninja. He's absolutely fantastic, and his socials are going to be linked in the video description as well if you want to commission him for some amazing art. Otherwise, take it easy, gents, and I will see you all in the next episode. Peace.